Hello, I'm Brad Tyndall, President of Central Wyoming College. I would like to tell you about our college's vision to revitalize our local economy at this crucial time when many of us are worried about our economic future. As you may know, statewide in Wyoming, our two biggest economic sectors after mineral extraction are tourism and agriculture. And in our region, we are so positioned for economic success and revitalization in these two industries. In terms of tourism alone, we have thousands of cars flowing to the Tetons and Yellowstone, not to mention to see our own gems of the Wind River Range, Hot Springs, DuBois, and there is so much potential in the culturally rich Wind River Reservation. CWC is the only college in the state that bolsters the tourism industry through the culinary and hospitality program located in CWC Jackson, a prime tourism hub for Wyoming. CWC's main campus located in Riverton is centrally located as an asset to the state to host statewide and regional events. In terms of agriculture, our region is ranked number 4 in beef cattle production in a state known for beef. We need to support the local beef industry by not only raising beef locally, but processing beef and supporting local food and tourism. Craft beef is the newest thing. As economies grow, economists will tell you people seek out more luxury or craft goods. As a country, since the 1970s, the United States has innovated many food industries such as wine, beer, and coffee. And now we've entered the stage where people want locally sourced food and local craft beef. Nurturing and supporting the local products not only helps our farmers and ranchers, our neighbors, but also creates a more vibrant community, creating jobs while capturing more tourism. In terms of our horses, we have an amazing potential. Fremont County is number 1 in terms of the number of horses in the state, and 9th in the nation. And Hot Springs is number 1 in terms of the value of horses sold in the state. So our region is number 1 for horses in a state whose symbol and identity is the bucking horse. Equine tourism is literally stamped on our license plate, and we are the region that can capitalize on this. Statewide, the industry brings in about $191 million annually, but we don't see this yield or benefit locally. For example, Fremont County has about 12,000 horses, or about 16% of the state's approximate 72,000 horses. 16% of $191 million would be roughly, potentially, over $31 million annually to Fremont County. This is overly simplified, I understand, but it makes a strong point. We have a real economic potential here. We need a concerted effort to develop equine needs such as feed, bedding, stables, hookups, trailers, equestrian supplies, and services of training, horse care, and outfitting services, and so much more. We have an incredible equine program and our wrestler rodeo team to build upon. If we embrace the fact that we are in an ideal location in the middle of the state, we could host many equine events and draw thousands regularly to our hotels, restaurants, and stores, which would further support the development of these equine businesses. What would be the value to an indoor heated facility for Central Wyoming? Imagine if this were not only for equine events, but for other types of ag and non-ag events as well. So we are talking about growing the ag, the equine, and the tourism industries in a synergistic strategy. To bolster each of these, we need to support business startups. Well, guess what? CWC has a great track record for this. CWC has helped launch over 120 companies, of which over 70% are still in operation after 7+ years. We have now, through a major grant and partnerships, worked to support an entrepreneurial ecosystem out of the CWC Business Park in Riverton. We are calling this the Bootstrap Collaborative. We aim to create new and support existing businesses in ag, equine, tourism, and other business areas as well. These new businesses will not only inject money into our local economies, but will create jobs to stop the outflow of youth and labor force. Also, the new ag, equine, and tourism businesses will help beef up our main streets to attract and retain our citizens, while also providing more shopping opportunities for tourists. Did I just say beef up? Oh yes, I meant that this figuratively and literally. CWC is starting a meat processing program. We want to be on the cutting edge of helping ranchers capture more revenues by selling their product directly to restaurants, stores, and consumers, instead of exporting livestock for someone else to gain the lion's share of the beef supply chain. Why should big businesses from out of state make all the profit from our ranchers' livestock? So much of the revenue is from processing, packaging, marketing, transporting, retailing, and cooking the meat. We should keep that supply chain money local. At the same time, the promotion of craft beef helps our agritourism via our restaurants and stores. We literally need to beef up our main streets. Now, let me put on my economist hat for a second. In terms of an economic strategy, there are 4 legs to this stool. First, according to USDA agricultural statistics, each year, Fremont County alone imports more than $81 million in agricultural supplies. And when you look at the ag chart, you see that for just about every category of ag supply, we make a little ourselves, so we know it's possible to produce locally a lot of what we import. There is a big possibility here to grow and develop new agribusinesses. Even if Fremont County could capture just 25% of this 81 million, we'd inject more than $20 million into the economy annually with more shops, goods, and jobs. The second area of focus, capturing value-added opportunities. By this I mean we focus on the processing, marketing, selling, transporting of food and meat. I think we should try by 2030 to process and market locally 30% of our own food. I like to call this 30 by 2030. In addition to starting our meat program, CWC has started a new farmer business incubator and training program. So we're looking at both beef and crops. Farmers and ranchers are our history and the heart of our communities. Let's support them for their sake and for ours. The third leg of the stool, tourism. We need to build out ag, equine, and food tourism opportunities along our tourism corridors. We can have an ag and equine event center as well to draw people here. And lastly, the fourth leg of the stool is business development. At CWC, we call this the Bootstrap Collaborative, and that ecosystem for entrepreneurship to create the businesses that we're talking about around these industries. All of this work is centered around a big and bold project, the Rocky Mountain Complex for Ag and Equine Sciences, or the RMC for short. We plan to officially break ground on this in 2022. This is not just about a building or a greater complex. The RMC will not only provide a great facility for our amazing equine and rodeo programs, of which we are so proud, but in terms of economic development, for the renaissance of ag and equine and our main streets, the RMC is about economic revitalization. I'm so very excited about this. We have worked to go from 1 ag faculty to 5. I hope you'll catch the vision and want to be a part of this, and we would love your support. We have quite a bit more funds to raise, and with your help, we can get there. Contact us if you would like to support this project.